am a better person for meeting the people that I've met through being outside. So yeah.
Great answer.
Yeah.
I don't have any other questions. Thank you for sitting through all the bugs killing us. They've been eating my legs. It's time to go in the water.
Oh my god. He's crazy. I'm not going in. We're at the falls.
Oh yes, Eva Heller, thank you for being on there. Let's go. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Summit Culture video where I interview my friend Eva Heller, who I've known since 2017, where we were both at a summer camp together when we were 15 or 16, and the camp was literally called Nature Camp, which is pretty fitting for both of us, who we are and who we still are today. I wanted to interview Eva for a few different reasons. One, because of just how big of an impact nature has had on her life. But two, I think interviewing her and showing that, yeah, we're still out together going on hikes and doing things outside 7 years later is just a prime example of how saying hi to new people and being outside can really just connect you. So anyway, shout out to Eva Heller for being an awesome person, but also for getting out there and getting after it in the outdoors. It's pretty badass. So without further ado, let's listen to some of her thoughts on the topic.
I'm Eva, from Virginia, but currently in Colorado. I'm 23, and yeah, I work outside a lot, so it's kind of a little bit about me. Yeah, I mean, I've grown up being outside. Like, my dad is very influential to me, and he is very big into the outdoors and like doing that kind of stuff. So like, I've grown up going camping and having someone show me how to do those things. So not only is it meaningful to me in that way, but it's also just something that I'm passionate about. And like, I think that I definitely took for granted like having access to like a beautiful national park like Shenandoah, being so close to me, like when I went to school at JMU, now that I live in Colorado and work outside and I'm outside all the time, I can't imagine like not being outside. So yeah, I think it's definitely impacted me, not only in a positive way, like growing up, because it's like something I've always been around, but kind of being able to like find myself in the work that I'm doing that happens to be outdoors. So that's been like very enlightening for me. There's been a lot of changes for me this year, and so like having nature and like being outside for like it's been something that's been a constant my entire life. So I think that that's why it's so important to me and why I feel so comfortable in these spaces as well. And so I think that's another thing for like people that want to get involved in being outside, and like if they don't know where to start, like do a little bit of research, like either look it up on your phone, like parks near me, hikes near me, free trails near me, just like starting to get into that stuff. Like you do have to do a little bit of the work to be able to know where you want to go, but besides that, I feel like it's very easy to get into this kind of stuff. Even if like someone like me, like who's had nature and like being outside be a part of my life for like so long, like I still am doing research and exploring things that I would never have done if I didn't know what I was doing, or like if I hadn't just been like, yeah, I'm gonna go on this hike by myself and just like do it, you know. So yeah, I think a lot of people are scared to get into being outside and like doing things outside because they think that they don't have the materials to do it. And sometimes that is the case, because obviously you can't just go like backpacking without like a tent or like equipment like that, but like just going on hikes and, you know, doing things outside. Like you don't have to go to a national park to get into the outdoors to go hiking. You can go like to a park that's near you and even just like sit outside for a second. I feel like people don't realize all of the things that are outside that they have access to. Like I know you have to pay to get into some national parks, and I know that that's not accessible for everybody, but just going and getting outside, even if it's like going for a walk or a hike like near like a trail or on a trail like near you. I think a lot of people don't realize that you don't need all this like fancy stuff to go and do that. Like you don't need all the name brand items and the hiking boots that like everyone has. Like if you just have like the right clothing for the weather that's going to be happening, like check the weather, make sure you're dressed appropriately, like you won't be too hot or too cold, you have enough water, or like all you need is like tennis shoes and socks to make sure your feet don't hurt, and besides that, that's like really what I have to offer. Like you don't know, every person is different. You don't know exactly what you'll need until you go and do it. So like a lot of people have said, like you've said, like people that you've talked to before, like they're just like, just go do it. Like that's my advice, but also to just like don't be intimidated by not knowing, because the only way to find out what you need or what you want to know is by going and doing something. So that would be my advice.
Would you say it's given you a lot of, I guess, just new people in your life that you wouldn't have had without nature? I mean, obviously, like we met however many years ago at nature camp, but like now all your friends in Colorado are through outdoor things. A lot of your friends, like, do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so a lot of the people, I've had a lot of like friends in my life that have been constant. Like I have a handful of very close friends to me. But definitely moving out to Colorado, working for AmeriCorps, doing a conservation corps and working outside really introduced me to like such an interesting group of people that come from so many different places and backgrounds, like people that I never would have met in my life if I hadn't gone and done this job. I've met some of the best people I've ever met through doing things outside. And I've also, even though I'm not like friends with everybody that I meet when I am outside, I've met some of the coolest and nicest people like when I am out hiking or backpacking or doing work. And like people are always doing that stuff. Like you'll never be alone either when you go and do that stuff. There are always going to be people outside. So I think it's a really big support system, not even just for like running into strangers on a trail, but like for the people that I've met too in this past year. Like yeah, it's turned my life around, because I think I'm a better person for the people, like for meeting the people that I've met through being outside. So yeah.
Great answer.
Yeah.
I don't have any other questions. Thank you for sitting through all the bugs killing us. They've been eating my legs.
I know. I'm getting bit.
But yes, Eva Heller, thank you for being on there. Let's go.